Hi folks, Cappie here, Studio on 7. Just going to run you through things required for spray painting. First and most important, a good quality respirator. This is kind of like middle of the road respirator here. It does its job. I do wear another mask underneath it as well. I can work properly. Somehow my focus has gone out again. Right, so this plus gloves, okay, neoprene or latex gloves or plastic, the cheap plastic gloves that are used in the food markets where they're serving food and things. It gets very, very sweaty under there. Some people, well, I do in particular. Okay, so as far as that goes, respirator, gloves. The other important thing is to note, if you have any kind of respiratory problem, do not do this art form. Okay. Then, next important thing is the paper. Okay, now this paper is glossy. It's known as poster board. It's glossy on the one side, and the reverse is a matte, regular matte paper color. I have different sizes of that. My one that I use the most, and I'm sorry folks, this autofocus and manual focus are really messing me around today. I don't know why it's doing that, but sorry about that. Okay, so 3 colors. Well, when I say 3 colors, actually 2. They're not. That's white and black, and then clear coat for coating your painting once it's done. Okay, so white, black, and that's all you need to start with to get the basic going that I'm going to demo in the video. You also will need some kind of template. Now you can use the caps of the spray paint. I got the lid of a bin. That's my large planet. I've got one just a little bit bigger than this one here, and that would be my medium size. Then I have this one, and then one smaller, which is this one here. Okay, and that I'd use for small moon. I've also used a bottle cap from a plastic bottle. I've used the top of that to work with. Tools, well, from sponges, plastic bags, glossy paper from glossy magazines, old magazines that are lying around. You can use those. Anything to give you texture, in other words, lifting off, that you'll see in the video I do later on, where I demonstrate 3 different size planets. And a palette knife. You can use a palette knife, you can use a stick, you can use a paintbrush, but just make sure that your paintbrush is cleaned off regularly, and you'll need to clean it off with thinners. And that's why I don't recommend this for any person who has any kind of breathing or respiratory disorder at all. Not recommended for those people. So folks, that's the basics in terms of what is required: safety, templates, paint, paper, some tools. In the video, I'll do 3 planets for you, only using black and white, and then finishing off with a clear coat. And then I'll post the picture, the completed picture, at the end of the video. From me, until you see the demo in the next part of the video, Cappie, cheers. Okay folks, we're back again, and I'm going to show you how to do I think three moons. Sorry about all the noise, but they're busy building around here. What I can do about that one. Okay, so I'm going to start up with black, and just show you how I go about building up something. So I think what we'll do is we'll use three sizes. Let's go with a large one, medium, and well, just under medium size one. And so what I start off with first is obviously mixing up the can. Placement of the three on your sheet of poster board. Make sure the poster board is as dry and clean as possible. You don't want anything. Now what I do first is spray so I can see where I'm going to be working with the templates. So be a bit careful there because I'm not exactly on sound footing with regards to old table there. So let's do the small one first. Let's start on the small one. We're going to have that maybe as a moon. So that's white going on. Black over it. I'm going to pop some more white on top of that. Just let it dry a touch, and then using a bag, just a regular shopping bag, I'm going to just dab it onto the surface and lift it away. Okay, now because I haven't let that dry properly, it's got the board coming through, which can add to the texture. It's not a problem. So let's leave that one as is, and I'll show you what it looks like when it dries properly, because you should allow this to dry first. Well, not too dry before drying the bag. So go onto this one here. Some of it's black as well. And put it over, a bit more on top of that. I'll just let it dry a little bit, and then we'll remove some of that paint. Then the bigger one, not too much white on there, only black. And what I'm going to do there is I'm going to use glossy paper. So for the small one, crunch it up, take it out, open it up, and this tape doesn't stick to it. And then I'm going to take my hand and run my hand over and then lift away. So completely different texture on that one. You can also do a rotational or twist on that. For this one, I'm going to take and it a nice shout. Now, if it doesn't give you a decent texture, what you can do is you can spray it with clear coat, and it will then be open to lifting out again. So we're going to leave that. We're going to let this dry a bit. See how this one is. This one's still a little tacky. I think I'm going to just put some, add some black to that. Maybe just show you the twist. You can actually twist the paper to give you some texture. Okay, so they're pretty much dry now, and now we pop the stencil. Oh, well, before we do that, sorry folks, yeah. What I'm going to do is I'm going to darken this area a bit and then lighten the front area as if there was light from one of these other celestial bodies shining down on it. So, semicircle just to darken up that area, and then using the white, don't need to do much white here, the same semicircle in order to do that, and then put the, like to call the template on top, the stencil, and you can put the stencil on this one as well. Little one on there. And then, folks, this is the fun part, and that's why you have to use a lot of black. This is where the planets come into their own in terms of standing out. Excuse me. As I said, it's not something for people with respiratory problems. Even though I'm wearing a mask, it's still okay. So I'm going to let that dry a bit now, and then we'll apply some stars. There are two ways of doing it. You can use the can, which I prefer to do because I get a larger number of stars, but also not so much in terms of big blobs on the thing. The other one is to put paint on the fingertip and then flick off to the side and then flick over from a distance, flick over the paint in itself. Okay, so it's starting to dry up nicely now. I'm going to, from a distance, give it a smattering of stars, and maybe pop in a Milky Way through here. so that is, I'm just going to allow this to dry now. So give me a couple of minutes on that. Okay, it seems to be drying relatively quickly. Quite humid here today. So what we can do now is we can remove the stencil. And you have to be careful with this because sometimes you can get that little ring. This is why you need a sharpish, when I say sharpish edge, it must be able to seal properly from paint getting in underneath or not getting around the planet enough. Okay, so there are just a couple of spots now that need to dry off. And then we apply clear coat to this. And then I'll take a photo and include it at the end of the video. So yeah, this is drying off pretty quickly now. It is humid here. I hope that's given you some kind of idea as to the beginning process of putting together one of these space paintings. There's a lot more that one can do. I do landscape painting as well with this, where you just design a landscape, we put in waterfalls, all kinds of things, put in buildings, etc., etc. Night landscape. Okay, so what I think we're going to do now is we're going to put on some clear coat. And that was a sealed painting nicely. And give it a This is the one that I don't particularly like the smell of. Unfortunately, I have to use it. Okay folks, and that's how I put these types of art pieces together. I hope you enjoyed following that, and I just hope the video came out decently so I can edit it nicely. From me, Cappie, have an awesome day. Cheers.